All right, and welcome back to Community Connections. I am Dawn Lowe, Executive Director for the Greensburg Decatur County Chamber of Commerce, and today you get me. I am the special guest, so we are going to give just a quick, just talk about our year. We're going to give a little bit of a recap about the Greensburg Decatur County Chamber of Commerce and some of the things that we've seen over the course of the year, and give you a little bit of insight about the trajectory into 2026. So our board has done a ton of work, and we're really proud of that work that we've done here in 2025 that's going to help launch us into 26. But I always start the program with upcoming events for the chamber. So I am going to go ahead and do that first. So coming up, like I said, this is our last Community Connections of 2025, which is a little sad, but a little exciting at the same time. I think it's always fun to turn, that next page and to look forward into what's coming ahead. And it's absolutely amazing as I looked back on some of the things from 2025 and was, writing up the report and getting ready for this today and to talk to you about all of the things that we've done in 2025. And I even questioned myself as I was putting some of the names of the new members down on paper. I was like, no, that was like 2 years ago in reality. And I started looking at dates and I was like, oh, that was just April. So it's amazing how much time tends to go by. But we want to talk about some of the things that we're getting ready for in 2026. So upcoming, we'll have Community Connections again on the first and third Wednesdays of the month. So tune in from 11:15 to 11:45 on the first and third Wednesdays. If you are a chamber member and you have not yet been our guest, we would love to invite you to do that. It doesn't cost you anything. It's part of your membership. So we will bring you on air live in the studio with us here, and you're going to talk about the things that are pertinent to your business, those things that are coming up. Maybe it's a particular event that you've got that you want to showcase, or maybe it's just general knowledge of your business or your organization. We would love to help highlight you through this platform. So call our office at 812-663-2832 to get on our schedule, and we'll get you lined up. But coming up in 2026, we're going to talk to Opportunate Livestock on Wednesday, January the 7th. And then we're going to kick right off. We're going to start that cycle again. We've got second Tuesday of the month, lunch and learns from noon to 1. Registrations are required for those so we can get a good head count, and we do typically limit those to 20. So you'll want to be one of the first ones on the list for sure. So our first lunch and learn of 2026 will be Tuesday, January the 13th. We will be featuring Christopher Burke Engineering alongside the city of Greensburg. So if you want to sign up for that, more information will be on our website soon. That registration is not currently open, but you can go ahead and mark your calendar for Tuesday, January the 13th. And again, those lunch and learns are always the second Tuesday of the month. Then on the third Tuesday of the month, we host Leaders and Loggers, and we want to give a huge shout out to Trisha Pettit at the TAP and the TAP in general and her staff there. They have done an absolutely phenomenal job of hosting us on every single third Tuesday of the year throughout 2025. And I think we started this back in 24 even. But want to thank her and her team for hosting us at 116 East Washington Street. So every third Tuesday of the month, we host what's called Leaders and Loggers, and that is from 4 to 6 p.m. That is actually free and open to the public, so anyone is welcome to come in and join us. There is no cover charge. We typically have some sort of a small business feature or somebody from a local business or a business owner to talk about their business, their organization, just give a little bit more of a highlight to them. And then the rest of the time is spent networking. So it is one of my favorite events. I walk away every single month and say, oh my gosh, I had no idea, fill in the blank. I learned something every single week. There is always a new connection made, which is really fun to see in our world. So that is one of the things that the Chamber prides itself on is helping to create spaces to make those connections, and Leaders and Loggers is a great way to do that. So on Tuesday, January the 20th, that will be our first Leaders and Loggers. And this one's going to be unique. We're going to feature a new business, a new member that is called Lilac Knot. It is actually a home-based business. And that is a niche that the Chamber is focusing a little bit more heavily on. We realize that there are a lot of businesses that are based right out of living rooms and right out of garages. And people who are doing just that little bit extra, sometimes it's their only source of income. Sometimes it's an added source of income. And we want to recognize the effort that they are putting into that. So those are more than welcome to be members of the Chamber. So we're excited to be able to feature Lilac Knot. And we're going to be hosting a ribbon cutting for her that evening. Again, 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, January the 20th. That business owner is September McGuire. So come out and celebrate with us on Tuesday, January the 20th for our first ribbon cutting and our first Leaders and Loggers of 2026. Looking forward into our large events, we've got 2 in the month of February that are pretty big. So Saturday, February the 7th will be our Ag Day breakfast from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. We will be back at the Red Barn at Next Generation. So you can go ahead and mark your calendar for that. I think we have just released the save the date on that. More information will be coming over the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned to our social media. We are going to let you know who our guest speakers are and give you a little bit more information on that day specifically. But go ahead and mark your calendars for Saturday, February the 7th. We'll have that Ag Day breakfast from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. And then the 2026 Decatur County Legislative Update will be held on Friday, February the 20th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. That event will be free and open to the public. There will be a light lunch served. If you are interested in sponsoring that luncheon, please call our office at 812-663-2832. We'd love to highlight a local business in support of that legislative update. The legislative update will be held at Greensburg City Hall, located at 314 West Washington Street in the multipurpose room. So those are a couple of our upcoming events. The first thing that I wanted to talk about past upcoming events is membership. So we are a 501c6 organization. So we are a nonprofit organization with a membership base. And I cannot even begin to explain how excited I am for the growth that I am seeing, not only in our organization, but the community as well. And I think some of these numbers are going to talk very specifically to the success that we are seeing here in Decatur County and our surrounding region. So this year alone, in 2025, the GDC Chamber has welcomed 45 new memberships. That is our second highest since I have been at this chamber. So super excited to see that number. And because of their investment and because of that decision, I'm going to go ahead and list those. And as I said earlier in the program, I was going through this list and I was like, oh no, that was like 2 years ago. And then I did a little research and digging on a couple of them and I was like, nope, yep, that was just in April. So it's amazing how time flies. And when you're so involved and have so many different things going on, you do kind of lose sight of what has happened over the course of the year. So always kind of fun to look back. But our very first member of 2025 was McDonald's of Greensburg, and we held a ribbon cutting for them. Following them, we had Hope of Evansville, followed by Power Stream Fiber. Then Dog-Eared Pages. You've probably seen a lot from her, a lot from Taylor. She was one of our award recipients at the annual dinner. Then Friends of the Greensburg and Decatur County Animal Shelter came on next, followed by Jackman's Animal Clinic up in the Milroy area. Decatur County Government came on with a membership. Atterbury Job Corps, Troyer's Country Store, LLC, the ARC of Decatur County, and I want to point out that that is the ARC, A-R-K. We do have two ARCs of Decatur County. We have an ARC and an ARK. This one is the Men's Recovery Home, the ARK of Decatur County. Followed by Lysing Excavating Incorporated, Lysing Road Venger, Painting Plus, Tree City Craft Retreats. This was one that I had to look back on the date and I was like, oh gosh, that ribbon cutting was like 2 years ago. And sure enough, it was here in 2025. I looked back at the pictures, looked at the dates, and I was like, goodness, I thought that was literally a couple of years ago. But Tree City Craft Retreats and their sister location, Hickory Road Inn, LLC. Next up, we had the Brins Insurance Group, ribbon cutting for them. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Mike Monroe. Force Construction Company Incorporated. CRF Roofing and Restoration, and I want to point out they came in with a gold membership, so I want to thank them for that support. El Chile Poblano Authentic Mexican Restaurant also came in with a gold membership, and I think we just heard a little bit of an advertisement for them just prior to the show here. Larry Reedy's America. If you're not familiar with that, that is a podcast. Larry Reedy is a gentleman based out of the Batesville area, and he does a podcast right from his dining room table. Very interesting. So if you haven't before, check him out. Sherwin-Williams. Cornerstone Craftsman, LLC. Cornerstone Craftsman came in with an executive level sponsorship at the silver level. Thank you to them. Heart Rhythms Safety Training, LLC. Magpies Boutique, LLC. Copper Coyote. Frame 55. Tree City Culinary Company. Overtime Media. Ipana Healing with Horses. Opportunate Livestock. KC Performance Cycles. Reflection RPM. KG Tattoos. Highland Bliss Piercings, LLC. Wealth Wave. Creekside Farm Stop, LLC. Lorca Psychiatry and Wellness, LLC. Jet Laundromat. Aspen Tower Florist. Koi Oasis Pools. Can't wait till we get to take a deeper dive. No pun intended, right? That was totally a slip of the tongue, but that was kind of funny. Koi Oasis Pools, we're going to take a deeper dive with them in March, about the March timeframe. So look for more information on that as he works to get set up. Lilac Nut, as I just mentioned, with a ribbon cutting coming up in January. All for Kids, LLC, the Excel Center, and Batesville Memorial Public Library. So those were our 45 new chamber members. I want to congratulate them for the investment that they're making, not only in their own business, their own organization, but in the business community of Decatur County as well. Through your membership, most of the time people come to us because they're looking for something. They need help. They need support. And that is what we are here for. So we couldn't be more excited to figure out creative ways to, whether it's advertising, marketing, or whether it's making connections and networking. But in turn, you're also, with that membership, supporting other chamber members. So that takes us to 389 members to date. So we're really, really close to that 400 member mark. Not sure what we're going to do there, but I've told Lily already in the office that we need to plan something big for that 400th membership. So we'll see who will be the 400th membership, but a really great membership base. And with that, I know that some of those that I mentioned are not technically in Decatur County. That's one of the joyful things that we get to do, is showcase not just our Greensburg, not just our Decatur County businesses, but businesses that are throughout the region. The stronger that we grow our region, the stronger that our smaller towns, cities are within our county. So we're super excited to continue expanding our reach. I mentioned a couple on there that were up from the Ripley County area. We've got Shelby County on there. We've got another Ripley County on there. So, a lot of growth, a lot of potential. We would highly recommend, I tell businesses all the time, if you have clients or customers that are outside of the county that you live in, definitely reach out to those chambers and talk to them about how they can support you, because I would highly recommend multiple chamber memberships if that's A, within your budget, and B, within your reach as far as your customer and your client base. So with those new memberships, then one of the things that the chambers typically look at is our retention rate. And retention rate is, it's a calculation And it's always very daunting to calculate those numbers because you obviously want a high retention rate. I will start off by saying that the ACCE, which is the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives, which we are a member of, has a statistic out that the average retention rate for chambers is 78 to 86%. Your Greensburg Decatur County Chamber of Commerce came in at a 95% member retention rate this year for the second year in a row. So I'm super proud of that. We are, again, I can't say it enough, we come to work every single day excited and creatively looking for new ways to support you, to make sure that people know about your organization, who you are, what you're about, your brand. I'm really big on brand image and making sure that we have that logo recognition. So any ways that we can shout you out and promote you, we are excited to do. So we're super excited that we have that 95% member retention rate. Over the course of the year, we have performed 20 ribbon cuttings. That is an amazing number. 14 of those ribbon cuttings were new businesses. So 70% of the ribbon cuttings we performed this year were for new businesses. And our chamber has a set of strategic guidelines that we do for our ribbon cuttings. So I want to let everybody know a little bit about that. Our ribbon cuttings, we'll hold a ribbon cutting for a new business. Obviously, just gave you a stat on that, as well as a change in ownership or a change in location. Now, this past year, our board took a little bit deeper look into those guidelines, and we decided that, it would be advantageous if we also recognized some other things, like think about a business expansion or a large project enhancement. So those types of projects or items or things, those can go before board review for approval of a ribbon cutting, and we did do a couple of those in 2025. We have provided, if our count is right, we have provided 66 platform opportunities over the course of 2025. And, as I'm talking about these statistics, I'm not talking about them to, in any way, shape, or form, brag about what we do, although we are very proud of the work that we do, but to give you confidence that your chamber is healthy, your chamber is thriving, your chamber continues to grow. So the support that you put in us, we don't take that lightly. We do our job every day, 110% with a ton of energy and looking to always exceed and excel. So those 66 different platform opportunities, we have a couple of large events and then we have some smaller events, but to be able to say that we were out in the community doing something 66 different times over the course of the year, to allow you opportunities to showcase your business, your logo, your brand, whatever it might be, that's pretty incredible. And we saw 59 vendor spaces filled throughout our different events. That's a lot of vendors. So we're excited to be able to give them, again, space and opportunity to market or solicit, whatever it is, the products and services that they offer. We have seen over 1,300 attendees at our events in 2025. Yes, we did go back and count every single one of our events. So it's just really fun. And I think numbers tell a story. So I think, I always tell people I love numbers. I love to hear them. They resonate with me. I don't as much like to research them and find them. But once we do, I think they can be pretty profound and impactful. So a few more numbers along that line. I had Lily take a deep dive into the back end of not only our website, but our social media as well. And I honestly was floored by the numbers that she brought me. A true testament to the work that the girls in the office do. We've had Sarah Schneider at the beginning of the year, Lily Yeager now, and both continue to do a phenomenal job with everything that you see, anything that is forward facing to the public. They are working on from a marketing perspective. So we have the membership directory tab on our website. If you have not visited that yet, please do so. It's greensburgchamber.com, and then you're going to click on membership directory. Every single one of our members are listed on that membership directory, and you can search them by name or you can search them by category. We allow our members to be listed under as many categories as possible. We want people to find you. So the more categories that you're under, the more searchable you are. And that also helps your SEO search when you go to Google, for instance, and you're typing in whether it's a catchphrase, the category, or the actual business name. That helps that SEO, and that helps, move your name up on that list to get you that higher ranking. So that membership directory in particular, in 2024, it saw 228,736 views. This year, 2025, we were at 329,908 views. That is over 100,000, 101,000 views more. That is an incredible jump, an absolutely incredible number. As many of you know, and some may not know, we are the only job board in Decatur County. So outside of your national, like the Indeeds and stuff that other people will post on, we're the only job board that people can post on locally here. So we have kind of a system for that. And I'm going to give just a little bit of a hint. Go ahead and stay tuned. Stay on our website, stay on our social media, follow us, because there is a big change for that specific thing, the job postings page, coming in 2026. So there's your little teaser. But I do want to talk about the numbers that we're seeing there. In 2024, we saw almost 3,300 views on our job boards page. So keep that number in mind, 3,300. This year, we saw 4,324. So again, another 1,000 view jump, which is an incredible jump. So continuing to bring awareness to the resources that we have right here in our community. The events page, also on our website, in 2024 saw a significant jump from 24 to 25. In 24, we saw 33,500 views. In 25, we saw 71,987, almost 72,000 views. So what are all these numbers telling me? I haven't even gotten to social media yet, but as I'm looking through these numbers, they tell me that people are using your Greensburg Decatur County Chamber as a resource, and we couldn't be happier. Which means that we need to continue setting the bar really high and making sure that we're putting our best foot forward so that people continue to utilize us as a resource and continue to find, again, you, our chamber members. So let's turn to social media. Let's look at that. In 2025, we had 2.5 million views on Facebook. You guys, that's huge. We do a lot of things on our Facebook page. I'm going to tease a little bit more here. We're going to roll out something else in January of 25, maybe even December. I don't know. We'll see how like feisty we're feeling here at the end of the year. But we've got another thing that we're going to roll out. And I'm going to talk a little bit here in just a minute about why we're making all these changes. But stick with me for a second. So what we know is that since 2024, we have obviously been growing just over the course of the last year, like tremendous amounts, phenomenally. We're up 1.2 thousand followers. We're up 34.2 thousand interactions through our content, and we're up 49,000 visits. I want to thank the girls in my office that have worked with us and for us. That is a testament to the level of, I'm going to lose my words here. I've been on a roll, Chris, this whole time. Just the level of, I think, professionalism that both of those girls have had in our office is just a true testament to the work that we're doing. It's showing, and people are responding. So couldn't be more proud of our office and everything that's going on. And I should mention too, that goes with our summer interns that we've had over the course of the last couple of years as well. They definitely have been a big part of our success.
I think that just goes to show the dedication that all of the staff there in the office truly has for the community and the businesses that are part of the members.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that it sounds cliche, and I say it all the time to say that we come in every day with our members in mind, and we come in every day, striving to find that next creative thing or figure out what that next event might be or what's going to help our businesses better. But truly, like, that is what we walk into the office every single day. You start with your emails, you get through that, and then we start having conversations. Okay, now what can we do better? What do we need to look at for this segment of business or what have you? So, it's a super fun yet challenging position to be in, to be able to have a little bit of creativity, or a lot of creativity, I should say, to have that professional side where we're putting out a great brand. We're being viewed as a very legitimate resource here in our region. And then, just the support and the celebration that we're able to provide businesses is so rewarding. Those are good days. Every day is a good day. And so it's really, we're truly grateful to be in the positions that we're in. I had mentioned that I was teasing a couple of things, and, I've kind of mentioned that we come in and we think about new ways and new things and new directives to offer to help our business community. And I want to point out our board of directors. Our board of directors is top notch. I probably don't talk about them enough. I know that when we're in large settings, they get mentioned, but our board of directors truly has oversight over the Greensburg Decatur County Chamber. And per our bylaws, we have to run with 8 to 18 board members. We approved new board members at our annual meeting there in November. And so for 2026, with what was approved, we will have 14 voting members and 7 ex officios. That's a pretty robust board, and we are very strategic when we talk to those people and put that board together. We look at a lot of different demographics to make up that board and make sure that we are going to be representing Decatur County business the best that we can. So coming onto the board this year for 2026, we're going to have Alex Sefton with the branch and All for One Ministries, Katie Sparks with German American Bank, Jennifer Moore, Decatur County Memorial Hospital, Jacob Maddox, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Jacob Maddox, and Tony McLaughlin with Delta Faucet. So, again, a wide variety of business sectors that are represented. We look at our male to female ratio. We even go as far as to look at the demographics of where those people are located within the county, to make sure that we're pulling from all four corners, to make sure that it's not just Greensburg specific businesses that are represented. So total transparency, our board of directors went through a strategic planning session in 2025, and just this last board meeting adopted that strategic plan, kind of setting the pathway for 2026. And I want to talk about, there were kind of 5 key areas that were identified. And I just want to be totally transparent so that, one, if you say it, it's going to happen. And 2, you guys, the business community, you need to hold us accountable to and make sure that we're holding up our end of the bargain. So the first thing that we're going to focus on is a thriving membership base. We want to make sure that we are, again, coming up with creative solutions to keep our members engaged throughout their entire membership cycle. I think that's one thing that I have knowing that we needed to do a little better on. We have a really great presence with our members in the first few months. And so how are we making sure that we're maintaining that relationship through, years 3 and 5 and 10 and again, throughout that entire membership life cycle. So we're going to focus on that. So we're going to bring up new tools for communication, and we're going to continue to develop, strengthen, and enhance our ambassador team. So our ambassador team has not been utilized to its fullest. In 2025, we kind of kicked that back off and got them excited and geared up and used them a little bit more. So we held our own ribbon cutting for that ambassador team, which was really fun. And then we also had them do a couple of things. I call them my boots on the ground. So they helped us pass out those business referral guides, and they're going to also be helping us pass out some of the 2026 member window clings. So if you did not just receive one in the mail or here within the next week or so, if you did not receive one, let us know. We want to make sure we're getting out to all of our businesses. We want people to know that you are a member of the chamber. And so we're going to utilize our ambassadors to help us, make sure that we're hitting all of those different chamber members. We're also going to focus on strategic partnerships. We've got a really great strategic partnership with the Stellar team that encompasses 7 different organizations, and we talk about them quite a bit. We're really proud to have that in our community, and I think our community is really unique in the sense that, quite frankly, we work really well together, and we rely on one another, we support one another, we respect one another, and that can go such a long way and has proven to be very helpful and successful here in Greensburg and Decatur County. So we're going to continue to pour into that group and be an integral piece of that. We're also going to look at strategic partnerships through, our K through 12 segments and our higher education. We're continually looking for workforce opportunities for our students who are going out into the workforce. And some are choosing to do higher education and workforce. So there's a balance there. So working on making sure that we have those relationships built so that we can continue to be a connector there. The third strategic identifier that we're looking at is governmental affairs or advocacy. We do this in a lot of different ways. We talked about that we're going to be seeing the legislative update coming up in February. That is obviously a really big component of that. But what do you need? What do our local businesses need? And how can we help you on that front? So you'll probably see maybe even a questionnaire or survey come out here in Q1 or Q2 as we kind of dive deeper into that and kind of identify those positions. We want to be a leading resource for policy and legislation. So the chamber will primarily never take a side, but we will be a resource for information. And that's just kind of a stance that our board feels is very important. So we want to, again, be a leader of making sure that what is happening and what is being talked about. So kind of watch your newsletter for that. I've got some ideas for 2026 that we're going to be looking at for that. And then we just want to make sure that we're maintaining those strong relationships with our elected officials. So continuing to work closely with city elected officials, with our county officials, and then with our statewide officials as well. So making sure that we maintain those relationships is important. Our fourth point will be event alignment, making sure that our events align with our strategic goals and that we are able to host those and maintain the capacity of what we've been doing. So we obviously are very event heavy in a sense, and making sure that we can continue fostering meaningful networking opportunities for businesses and making sure that those events are actually servicing, the goals of the chamber. So we're going to take a deeper dive and look at that. And then our fifth one, and this is probably our biggest one, is to achieve operational excellence. And there's a lot of different things that we can kind of look at different merits to make sure that we are achieving operational excellence. I think, the numbers that I talked about earlier in the program, that speaks directly to that, making sure that we're continuing to grow, that we're continuing to be a resource, that we're serving. But we want to look at some diverse revenue streams to ensure that this chamber is not just here for another 2 or 3 years, but we're here for the longevity of the community. So we need to be here in 50 years. We need to be in here in 100 years. And so that's, some of those back end budget things. But I think that there's some new revenue streams that we can kind of look at that will in turn also help our business community as well. So look for some opportunities there. And then we want to strengthen and sustain our human resources to make sure that we're achieving these strategic goals. And again, over the course of all 5 of these different identifiers, I think you are going to see a lot of changes, and I think they're all going to be really, really great changes for our business community. A lot of new opportunities. So I'm really excited about what is coming up. If you think that we are not busy, oh my gosh, with all the new and all of the things that we've been talking about, we definitely are not taking any breaks. I can tell you that. So just to kind of wrap it up, and I know we're running out of time here. If you are listening and you are a chamber member, I want to thank you. Thank you for investing in your business. Thank you for investing in your employees. I also want to thank you for the belief and support that you have in the chamber. Your membership, again, doesn't just support you, it supports the 388 other businesses that are under that membership. And that number, as I've mentioned numerous times, just continues to grow. But what can that do for you? If you're listening and you walk into a business and they're not a chamber member, you might encourage them to be one. And or if you are a business owner and you're listening and you're not a chamber member, what are some reasons you might want to be a chamber member? There's several different, and in no particular order. You can expand your network. I make connections for people all the time. I just had one of our chamber members pop in right before I came on to the studio here, and they were, wanting to get more involved. And I said, if there is a business that you're wanting to get connected with, let me know. I probably have a relationship with them, and I would be more than happy to make that email introduction. And just the look on their faces like, oh, really? That would be phenomenal. I'm like, yes, that's what we do. I do those kinds of things every day, and I'm excited to be able to make those connections for people. So let us help expand your network. Let us help increase your visibility. You can gain tons of exposure through the chamber, whether it is through a sponsorship, whether it is through being a speaker. Maybe you want to be a speaker at one of our events. Maybe it's just through social media. The fact that we follow all of our businesses on social media, and at the very, very least, we'll like every single post that we see in our feed. We have some more opportunities with that coming up again in 2026. So stay tuned for more there. We're going to advocate for your business. So we're going to make sure that you are represented to the highest and fullest capacity, not just at the local level, but at the state level. And I kind of talked about that governmental affairs advocacy piece earlier too. So that kind of goes along with that. But we want to make sure that you, as well as the chamber, has a really strong voice. We're going to help you access resources and education. So a lot of the workshops that we put on, a lot of the lunch and learns, a lot of the things that we do very strategically and timely based on what is happening sometimes in the world, and sometimes it's happening here at a local, more on a local scale. But take advantage of those. They can create professional development. Our Women in Business Conference has been running strong for well over 20 years, and the professional development that is gained through attending that conference is absolutely phenomenal. I can tell you that committee is working super hard to put together the 2026 event, and I don't know, it may end up being my favorite one yet. I'm super excited about it. But yeah, use this as a resource. Use this for education. We're going to help you build credibility and trust. There is a statistic that when people walk into the chamber, into your business, and they see that window cling on your door that says that you are a chamber member, they are 78% more likely to peruse your store because you are a chamber member. They will have more faith in you because you are a chamber member. And that's just statistics. So, pretty incredible that just that membership alone builds credibility and trust for you. And then you're also, through your membership, supporting local economic growth. You're investing in a stronger, more vibrant community, and that's what we all want. When you have a more vibrant community, that in turn supports your business, supports your employees. So we're very, very tuned in and keyed in on supporting local. And so again, that membership is helping to support local economic growth. You're going to stay informed. You're going to be the first to know. We do a lot of pushes, not an overwhelming amount, but a lot of pushes, and you're going to get information through our newsletter and through our social media and different things that we have going on to stay informed on what's going on locally as well as more regionally. And then the business support that we provide through marketing, awareness, brand recognition, as I mentioned earlier, We are super, super invested in that, and we don't take that lightly. So let us help you. Let us support you. We, again, cannot thank our business community enough for the support that they show in our organization, allowing us to be an integral piece of your business. And we are always looking to further our reach and support more. So if you're interested in being a chamber member, please call us at 812-663-2832, or you can send me an email, execdirector@greensburgchamber.com. I'd be happy to have a private conversation with you. I would love to see how we can further our relationship and further expand your business. So with that, I want to again thank everybody on our membership, 389 strong. I hope that some of these numbers and details have given you a little bit more insight about where we've been, what's coming up, and where we're headed in 2026. I want to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I have a question before we get off here.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I've been saving this whole time.
You could have interrupted at any time.
But you had it all planned out.
I was kind of on a roll.
I was still laughing about the pool and the diving in, so I was still there.
I swear that was not rehearsed.
So, what is your favorite memory or moment from 2025?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, like, I know this sounds so generic, but every day I come home and I'm just filled, like it just fills my cup. I truly, truly, truly love my job. I think, I'm thinking back to we had an ambassador luncheon, and we were trying to rejuvenate that program. And the whole presentation, so typically I announce, the speaker, and that's kind of my job. I'm not the presenter. So this is not my thing, to be on like this, doing a whole 30, 45-minute segment today. That is not typically in my wheelhouse. That's somebody else, right? I'm just the one that's kind of navigating people through it. Yes. And so for this ambassador luncheon, I was the presenter. And so I presented the entire luncheon. And so I was very, very nervous about it. And we just had an absolute phenomenal time. I mean, there were a lot of laughs. There were a lot of questions. There were a lot of great comments. And, I think a lot of aha moments about what the chamber does in our community and can do for your business, and in turn, what you can get from that. So, looking at all those reciprocal moments, and I kind of surprised them at the end and said, okay, so I want you to really understand, because I want you to feel it, and I want you to get the excitement that these businesses feel when they're cutting that red ribbon. So today we're going to cut a red ribbon for this ambassador group. And I mean, I had a room of, I don't know, we probably had 30 people there. We had a really great representation, and they were so excited. So excited to cut a red ribbon. And that was the first time that we launched the confetti poppers. So part of a ribbon cutting now, I talk about that we're continually developing ideas. So that was the very first launch of our confetti poppers. And you would have thought it was Christmas 10 times over. Everybody, I mean, the joy, the smiles, the laughter, it was such an organic, sweet moment. And to give them that opportunity to feel what that new business is feeling it was really fun. It was a really fun moment. So, it was 30 grown adults popping confetti poppers, picking it up off the floor after we were done, and everybody loved it. It was so much fun.
Even at the ribbon cuttings, you've been doing the confetti poppers. I don't know of anybody who doesn't enjoy it.
Right.
It might scare you for a moment, but
confetti's always fun. I always encourage confetti.
So my last question, what are you most excited about 2026?
Oh gosh, I don't know that I can give you just one thing, because as I've kind of alluded to, we have a lot of things that we are working on. I've got, two things that I don't want to announce just yet. I want to leave you hanging for just a little bit, but two things that got approved through our board of directors in December. I've got another big thing that was tabled that we're going to revisit in January, and that could be extremely powerful and meaningful for a lot of our local businesses, and on a big level, a real big level. And then there is another project that I'm again going to keep secret, that we have been working on diligently. I've had a committee working with me for the past probably 9 straight months on a project. And when we get that accomplished, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a really big deal for our chamber. So I'm looking forward to hopefully having some more, what do you want to call it? More things to, I don't know what the right word is, tangible,
Okay.
more tangible information on that in 2026. And I don't know what that timing is going to be, but by golly, if we can pull that off, it's going to be a really big deal for
This
our
is
chamber.
like that really fun, exciting like TV show, and it's just to be continued at the worst moment.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Dawn
sorry. I don't want to give. I just. I don't. I'm kind of one of those people that. I do want to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
And I know that it will be because we have been working so hard and so diligently on it. But at the same time, I don't want to like ruin it either. I don't want to, the cart before the horse type of thing. So I mean, just hang with us all year, because I think 2026 is going to be a big year.
Perfect. It's exciting way to end this.
Yeah.
I hope you have a good day and happy holidays.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you for having us and for continuing to support our efforts here through WTRE. We couldn't be more grateful for your partnership. So we greatly appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. This is Tree Country. It is 11:59. Actually, just turned 12 p.m. Have a great afternoon. We will be in the studios tomorrow morning.